Picture the scene. A heated moment on the pitch, two players nose to nose. It's the kind of confrontation football has produced a million times before. But then, one player leans in, whispers something, and covers his mouth with his hand. At any previous World Cup, that gesture meant absolutely nothing, just standard gamesmanship. At this tournament, it will get you a straight red card. No warning, no second chances. You are gone. This is the radical new rule quietly reshaping the beautiful game, and it's already sparking massive debate across the globe. So, how exactly did football end up here? It all traces back to a high-stakes Champions League playoff match between Benfica and Real Madrid. During a tense exchange, Real Madrid's Vinícius Jr. alleged he was racially abused by Benfica's Gianluca Prestianni. Prestianni vehemently denied the claim. But because Prestianni's mouth was covered, cameras, microphones, and officials were left completely blind. It was a classic case of one player's word against another's, leaving the sport with zero accountability. Frustrated by the lack of definitive proof, FIFA President Gianni Infantino took a hardline stance, declaring that shielding your mouth to hide discriminatory language must carry the ultimate penalty. The International Football Association Board agreed, swiftly codifying it into law. Crucially, the rule applies to any tense, nose-to-nose confrontation. If you use your hand, arm, or jersey to hide your words while confronting an opponent, you are off the pitch. For players who have spent their entire careers covering their mouths out of habit, or to prevent tactical lip-reading, this changes everything. In an instant, a simple reflexive shield has become football's most dangerous liability. Some players do it out of sheer muscle memory because they've seen it on television 1,000 times. Under this strict new law, however, intent no longer matters. If you cover your mouth during a confrontation, the card comes out. Period. Referees don't need to prove what was said. The physical act of shielding your mouth in a tense moment is the offense. By shifting the burden of proof from malicious intent to a highly visible, trackable action, FIFA created a blunt instrument designed to permanently close the loophole that plagued the game. But this isn't the only rule shattering traditional player habits. Alongside the mouth-covering ban, IFAB introduced an equally severe law. Any player or coach who walks off the pitch in protest of a refereeing decision will receive a straight red card. This stems directly from a chaotic Africa Cup of Nations incident, where a team walked off over a late, controversial penalty. Now, walking off carries the ultimate punishment, and forcing a match abandonment results in an immediate, unappealable forfeit. Both rules are direct responses to high-profile flashpoints that embarrass the sport on the global stage. FIFA and IFAB are using this World Cup to test these unforgiving laws under the brightest possible spotlight. The real tension lies in player adjustment. Retraining a lifelong reflex in the heat of a high-stakes World Cup match is incredibly difficult. Pundits note that a player could easily fall back on old habits out of pure frustration, costing their country a tournament they waited 4 years for. Critics argue a straight red card removes all referee nuance, applying the sport's harshest sanction to a mere gesture, regardless of context. Yet, FIFA has made its choice: absolute enforceability over flexibility. Some critics argue that a straight red card completely removes all referee nuance, applying the sport's harshest sanction to a mere gesture, regardless of the actual context. They believe it strips away the human element of officiating. Yet, FIFA has made its choice incredibly clear. They are prioritizing absolute enforceability over on-pitch flexibility. It is exactly the kind of high-stakes, uncompromising trade-off that tends to generate fierce debate the moment it is tested under real tournament pressure. So, where exactly does this leave the rest of the World Cup moving forward? Both of these rules are still fundamentally new, being tested for the very first time on the global stage. Every single match from here on out serves as a crucial data point, proving to the world whether these laws are working as intended or completely breaking the game. The football world is watching closely, analyzing every whistle. In a realistic best-case scenario, players will adapt rapidly to the new reality. The rule will quickly become a non-issue because everyone will simply stop covering their mouths during arguments. If that happens, football's broader accountability problem around unprovable, hidden insults will finally be solved. The game inherently becomes cleaner, more transparent, and significantly easier to officiate for the men in the middle. It would be a massive win for sportsmanship. However, the nightmare scenario for tournament organizers, coaches, and fans is entirely different. The genuine concern here is that a marquee superstar might get a straight red card in a massive knockout match for what looks, in isolation, like a minor and instinctive gesture. Imagine a crucial semifinal decided because a star player forgot the rule for a split second. If a team gets knocked out of the tournament because of a reflexive muscle memory habit, the entire global conversation will immediately shift away from fair play. Instead, it will focus entirely on whether the punishment actually fits the crime, sparking endless controversy. The exact same risk applies to the new walk-off rule. A team overwhelmed by a controversial decision might lose their cool, step off the pitch for a moment of protest, and suddenly find their entire World Cup campaign forfeited on the spot. It is a terrifyingly thin line for these athletes to walk. Either way, this tournament is the ultimate proving ground for the future of football. What happens over the next few weeks will directly shape the sport for generations. It will determine whether these laws stay exactly as written, get softened by lawmakers after the tournament concludes, or get written even more firmly into the global rulebook for decades to come. Drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts on this situation. Does a flat red card for simply covering your mouth feel like the right move to finally stamp out toxicity and racism on the pitch? Or is it way too harsh for an instinctive habit? Would you prefer a yellow card warning first? Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives and breaking football updates just like this throughout.